Hello dear students, welcome back to my channel. In this video we will see the key answers for science model paper released by SLC board for the examination March 2024. Dear student, from the examination point of view, the model paper released by the SLC board and the preparatory exam conducted by the same SLC board is very important because the pattern will be same as model paper and the preparatory paper. So if you want to score good marks, it is very important for you to analyze the model paper and the preparatory paper. The preparatory will be conducted by end of this month. It's very important to analyze those two papers and prepare well for the examination. Dear students, if you have not subscribed the channel, do subscribe the channel because all the important revision live classes will be done in my YouTube channel. Do subscribe the channel and the important worksheets and all will be shared. The target 80 worksheet will be shared and chapter wise revision will be done. And also do join my WhatsApp channel. First question, part A, that is part A for 28 marks. First main MCQs, there are 4 MCQs. First question, the type of lens used to correct the nearsightedness is concave lens. What is the type of lens used to correct nearsightedness? It is concave lens. What is farsightedness? It is convex lens. Next, the rule that helps to determine the direction of magnetic field around a current carrying straight conductor is option A, right hand thumb rule. The color of the sky from the surface of the moon appears as what? Black. Resistors of resistance 100 ohm is connected in parallel in an electric circuit. Then the number of resistors have to be connected to obtain 24 ohm as equivalent resistance is, it is option B, it is 4. Using the formula 1 by Rp equals 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 plus 1 by R4, will get the answer. Fifth question, is it possible to connect a refrigerator rated 1320 watts to a domestic circuit of 220 volts with an electric fuse rated 5 amperes? Clarify the reason for your answer. See, what is, we know power equals V into I, so our current I equals P by V, we get current 6 ampere. It is not possible to connect because the current here it is 6 ampere, the flow of current is 6 ampere, but it is connected to a fuse rated what? 5 ampere. Therefore 6 ampere current will flow in a given circuit. If the refrigerator is connected in this circuit with 5 ampere fuse, the fuse will melt and the circuit will break. The maximum limit of the fuse is 5 amperes, but the current flow is 6 ampere. Therefore the fuse will definitely melt and it will break the circuit. What is the function of the mirror used in the solar cooker? It increases the area over the solar energy is collected. Its surface area is increased to collect the solar energy, and more heat rays of the sun may enter the solar cooker box. 2 marks important diagram of simple electric motor. Biogas is an excellent fuel. How? Because it burns without smoke and leaves no residue like ash. It is eco-friendly. It has high heating capacity. Heat per calorific value is high. It is also used for lighting. Next question. Mention the advantages and limitations of wind. Advantages: wind energy is an eco-friendly, efficient source of renewable energy. It is also non-conventional source of energy. It requires no recurring expenses to produce electricity. Limitations: the cost is much higher and also The minimum wind speed should be 15 kilometers per hour. Below that, it cannot rotate. The fans will not rotate and it will not generate electricity. Earthing, next main 3 mark question. Earthing of the electric instruments having melting surface is must. The earthing of the electric instruments having metallic surface is must. How is this measure be justified? So earthing of electrical instruments having metallic surface is must. Why? Because the earthing provides low resistance conducting path for the current. In case of any leakage of the current flows through the earthing wire and keeps the user from, it prevents the user from severe electric shock. These are the 3 reasons you should write. Which measures must be taken to avoid overload in domestic electric circuit? What measures you should take? Check and take measures to clear any direct contact with live wire and the neutral wire. Live wire and neutral wire should not come in contact. Use the fuse to avoid any accidental hike in the supply voltage. We should use fuse. Do not connect to too many appliances to a single socket. Next question, ray diagram. Diagram for the formation of convex lens. When the object is placed between 2F1 and F1, so object is formed beyond 2F2, the image is realigned, inverted, and also it is enlarged. The image is also enlarged. Explain the following phenomena. Twinkling of stars and rainbow formation. Twinkling of stars is due to atmospheric refraction of starlight. When starlight enters the atmosphere, when the light from the stars enters the atmosphere, it undergoes continuous refraction. This is because the refractive index of the atmosphere gradually changes. Because of this, there is apparent change in the position of the stars, fluctuates the amount of starlight entering, light flickers. This is the twinkling effect of the star. Because the light reaches the atmosphere, the refractive index, it changes, it undergoes continuous refraction. Because of this, what happens? The stars appears to be twinkling. Rainbow formation. See, we know that rainbow is a natural phenomenon. It is formed in the direction opposite to sun. The rained water droplets in the atmosphere act like what? Small prism. The rainwater droplets acts like a small prism. They refract and disperse the incident light, then reflect it internally, and it refracts again when it comes out of the raindrop. So because of dispersion, that is splitting of white light into its constituent colors, the rainbow is formed. How does eye lens accommodate to see near and far objects? Explain. Next, the overhead sun at noon appears as white. What is the reason for this? Ciliary muscles in the eye modify the curvature of the lens. When the muscle relaxes, it decreases the curvature of the lens. As a result, the lens becomes thin and its focal length increases. This enables us to see the distant object. Because the ciliary muscles relaxes, the curvature decreases and focal length increases. Because of this, we are able to see the distant object. When muscle cells contract, it increases the curvature of the lens. As a result, the focal length decreases. This enables us to see the object closer to the eye. The overhead sun at noon appears as white because the light from the sun overhead would travel relatively shorter distance. Only little of blue and violet light are scattered. Because of this, it appears as white. Next, what is reflection of light? State the 2 laws of reflection and also define aperture and pole of the mirror in case of spherical mirrors. The process of bouncing back of light rays when they fall on the surface of an object is called reflection of light. The laws of reflection. First law, the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Second law, the incident ray, the normal to the mirror at the point of incidence, and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. What is aperture? The diameter of the reflecting surface of the spherical mirror is called as aperture. What is pole of the mirror? The center of the reflecting surface of a spherical mirror is called as pole of the mirror. Dear students, all these questions I have uploaded in my 100 plus questions. Do check it out and try to learn those questions. 5 more questions from the physics. State Joule's law of heating. How does a bulb work based on this law? Explain what is electric potential difference. Name the instrument used to measure the electric potential difference. How is this instrument used to connect in an electric circuit? Joule's law of heating. H equals I square RT. The heat produced in a conductor or the resistor is directly proportional to the square of the current for given resistance, and also it is directly proportional to the resistance of the given for a given current and time for which the current flows. You can write it pointwise. How working of a bulb. Here the electric heating is used to produce light. Most of the power consumed by the filament appears as heat, but a small part of it in the form of light is radiated. When the current passes through the filament, what happens? It gets heated up. Because of this heat, a small part of it appears in the form of light. Therefore, it is how the bulb works. The potential difference between 2 points in an electric field is the amount of work done in moving a unit positive charge from one point to another. What is the device used to measure potential difference? Is a voltmeter. Voltmeter is always connected in parallel. Next, part B, chemistry. Fourteenth question. A type of chemical reaction in which a single product is formed by 2 or more reactants, it is chemical combination reaction. Atomic number of chlorine is 17. The period of this element in this modern periodic table is belong to what? Third period. So you should write the electronic configuration, then the highest shell number indicates the period. Therefore, it belongs to third period. What is dilution of acid? The process of mixing an acid or base with water is called as dilution. Next question, what could be the pH value of a salt that is commonly used to remove strong oil stains in any source? Salt that is used to remove strong oil stains in any source is detergent. Its pH value should be more than 7 because it is a basic salt. Next, what is the reason for the formation of water when moderately reactive metals react with nitric acid? Because nitric acid is a strong oxidizing agent. It oxidizes the hydrogen produced to water and itself get reduced to any of the nitrogen oxides. See, nitric acid is a strong oxidizing agent. We know that when the metals react with acids, what happens? It releases hydrogen gas. Here in case of this, what happens? The hydrogen gas released is converted into water. Though concentrated sulfuric acid is not a reactant during the conversion of ethanol to ethane, its presence is necessary. Why? Conversion of ethanol to ethene is a dehydration reaction. Hence, concentrated sulfuric acid acts as a dehydrating agent that removes water from the ethanol. Name the compounds having the following structures. First one is we have functional group OH and the number of carbon side COOH. We have functional group COOH, that is carboxylic acid, and we have 3 carbon atoms. Therefore, it is propanoic acid. Here we have double bond and the number of carbon atoms, for it is butene. We have functional group OH, then it is ethanol. Here how many carbon atoms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 means spent We have triple bond, it is alkyne group, therefore it is pentyne. Thermite process is useful to join railway tracks. Why? Substantiate this statement with suitable explanation. See, the thermite process is a reaction in which iron oxide, iron 3 oxide in the presence of aluminum reduced to iron. Thermite reaction is used to join railway tracks because this reaction is highly exothermic. Due to large amount of heat is released, iron is produced in a molten state that is used to join the railway tracks. Can zinc carbonate and cinnabar ores be converted into their oxide by roasting? Justify here. Both ores cannot be converted into their oxide by roasting because zinc is moderately reactive. Prior to reduction, zinc carbonate must be converted into metal oxide by calcination. Next, cinnabar is a sulfide ore of mercury. Mercury is unreactive. It can be converted into metal oxide by heating alone. Observe the table given below, and element B is atomic number 5, O is 8, carbon is 6, lithium 3, potassium 19. Choose the element that has the smallest and largest end. What is the smallest element that have the smallest atom is oxygen, and elements that have the largest atom is potassium. The formula for potassium oxide is K2 because potassium belongs to group 1, has a valency +1, and the oxygen belongs to group 16, has a valency -2. So importantly, you should try to learn how to write the electronic configuration. Based on the electronic configuration, you will be able to answer all these questions. What are saturated carbon compounds? Define the following: homologous series and esters. What are saturated carbon compounds? Having only one single bond between the carbon atoms are called as saturated compounds. Homologous series is a series of carbon compounds in which they have same functional group. Substitute for hydrogen in a chain is called as homologous series. Their successive members differ by CH2 group. What is ester? Is a sweet smelling substance formed by the reaction of ethanoic acid with the absolute ethanol. What are micelles? What is covalent bond? Write any two properties of covalent bond. The structure formed by the interaction of ionic end of soap with the water and the carbon chain with oil. Clusters of molecules in which hydrophobic tails are in the interior of the cluster and ionic ends are on the surface of the cluster. This formation is called as what? Micelle. You can draw the diagram also, the formation of micelle. The bonds which are formed by the sharing of an electron pair between two atoms are known as covalent bonds. Covalent compounds have low melting and boiling point. Covalent compounds are poor conductors of electricity. Important remark diagram: the action of steam on a metal. In which of the following reactions water insoluble precipitate will be formed? Explain. Which water soluble products are formed? Barium chloride reacting with sodium sulfate or zinc reacting with hydrochloric acid. Water insoluble precipitate will be formed in the reaction between barium chloride and sodium sulfate. That is, sodium sulfate plus barium chloride, we get barium sulfate plus the sodium chloride. Here the barium sulfate is the white precipitate. Water soluble products is sodium chloride in reaction 1. In reaction 2 it is zinc chloride. Observe the following chemical equations and answer the given question. Cu plus 2HCl plus CuCl2 plus H2O, CO2 plus AOH gives CaCO3 plus HO. Which property of the metallic oxide and non-metallic oxide is explained here? Explain. How is sodium carbonate prepared? Explain with suitable chemical equation. Mention the uses of these two salts. The reactions are like neutralization reaction because when an acid reacts with base to form salt and water. Metallic oxides react with an acid to form salt and water. Hence, metallic oxides are basic in nature. Non-metallic oxides react with base to form salt and water. Hence, the non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature, whereas Metallic oxides are basic in nature. When sodium hydrogen carbonate is heated, sodium carbonate and water is formed along with the evolution of carbon dioxide gas. 2NaHCO3 on heating Na2CO3 plus H2O plus CO2. Uses of sodium carbonate is used in glass, soap and paper industries. It is used in the manufacture of sodium compounds such as borax. Part C, biology. The process that occurs in the production of new individuals of planaria is option B, regeneration. A phenomenon that does not direct the speciation is DNA replication. All these reasons are reasons for speciation but not D. Which tropism are necessary to bring the growth in the shoots and roots of the plant? Phototrophism in shoots, hydrotrophism and geotrophism in roots. What type of pollination occurs in the given plant? It is cross pollination. What are fossils? What are the methods of estimating the age of fossils? Fossils are preserved traces of organisms lived in the past. Methods of tracing the age of fossils will be relative method, detecting the ratio of different isotopes of same element in the fossil. Next question, classify the following into natural and artificial ecosystem: rainforest, cropfield, lake, pond. Natural ecosystem are rainforest, lake and pond. Artificial is cropfield. Dear students, you might have seen the level of questions which is asked in the model paper. Definitely, you need to be thorough with the textbooks. Read textbook, try to understand the concepts, and you should be able to answer. Conceptually, you should understand to answer all these questions. Otherwise, it will be very, I cannot say difficult. So it becomes very, in the examination, it is very difficult to answer all these questions in 3 hours. Therefore, you should be conceptually good enough to answer all these questions. That's why you should read the textbook. What I am suggesting is to read textbook and answer all these questions. Next question. Existing in enormous number of tiny structures of both alveoli and nephrons are complementary to their work efficiency. How? Both alveoli and nephrons help in excreting waste from the body. Alveoli helps in removal of carbon dioxide from blood in lungs, whereas nephron helps in the removal of nitrogenous waste, uric acid from the blood in the kidneys. Next, what are the problems caused by the construction of dams? Who are the stakeholders of the forest? The problems associated with the construction of large dams is: dams replace large number of peasants and tribals without adequate compensation. Dams swallow huge amount of public money without a generation of proportionate benefits. Construction of dams results in the deforestation and loss of biodiversity. Who are the stakeholders of our local people? The forest department of the government, industrialists, and also wildlife and nature interests. Sexual reproduction in higher organisms brings genetic stability among the population of species. How it is possible? During sexual reproduction, meiosis from germ cells form germ cells in reproductive organs. These germ cells will have only half the amount of chromosomes and half the amount of DNA is present. When these germ cells from parents combine to form individuals, restore the same chromosome number as in parent. Next, surgical methods are safe in long term, have least side effects. Mechanical methods can cause side effects. How homologous organs are different from homologous organs? An individual cannot pass its lifetime experience with progeny. How? Homologous, these are the organs of different organisms having common origin. Here, different origin. They have similar structure and perform different function. Here they have different structure, they perform similar function. 4 limbs of a frog and 4 limbs of a bird. Different structure, different structure in same function, it is analogous. Similar structure, different function, it is homologous. Wings of bird and wings of bat are analogous organ. Next, change in non-reproductive tissues cannot be passed to the DNA of germ cells because breeding of mice produces all progeny with tails. If the tails are removed in each generation, they do not produce tailless progeny because it does not change the genes of the germ cells. Next, dihybrid cross experiment. Very important question. The ratio will be 9:3:3:1. The cross between two individuals having which differs in two traits. Which are the events that occur during photosynthesis? Absorption of light energy by the chlorophyll, conversion of light energy into chemical energy, and splitting of water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen, reduction of carbon dioxide into carbon. These are the three events. Importance of transpiration: helps in absorption and upward movement of water and minerals from the roots to the leaves, helps in temperature regulation. Strategies in plants for excretion of waste: plants excrete gaseous waste with the help of stomata, plants get rid of excess water by transpiration. Plants also excrete some waste substance into the soil around them. What is the function of buccal cavity and stomach in the digestion of food in our body? Mention the role of arteries and capillaries in the transportation of material in the body. Mouth makes the food wet to ensure the easy passage to the canal. Salivary amylase in the mouth breaks down the starch into simple sugar. Function of stomach: the muscular wall of the stomach mixes the food thoroughly with the more digestive juices. Hydrochloric acid creates an acidic medium which facilitates the action of the enzyme pepsin and kills the harmful microbes in the stomach. Pepsin helps in digestion of proteins. Arteries carry blood away from the heart to various organs of the body. Capillaries helps in exchange of material between the blood and surrounding tissue or organs. 4 marks important diagram. Brain. Dear students, the level of questions what I see is a very standard paper, so you should, what I suggest is to be thorough with the concepts, read textbook and try to understand. Definitely I'll be doing chapter wise revision. Do attend that, which will help you to score good marks. Thank you for watching the video. If you have not subscribed the channel, do subscribe the channel and also join my WhatsApp channel.